Oke, Bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wa bihi nasta'in ala umuri dunya waddin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Amma ba'd. So today we are going to do a weekly activity in IDN. It is WTT or Weekend Tech Talk. So today I'm going to be the host for this session, and the speaker will be Zaidan from 11 RPL. So before we start, uh, let's thank to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all nikmah that we got, uh, healthy, wealth, and other thing, so many that Allah give to us. And don't forget salawat and salam may always be given to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the last prophet who brought us from the Jahiliyah era to Islamic era. So today's today's topic will be layouting in Android. And for you all, the listener, please listen carefully to the speaker. And Zaydan, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Fatir, for the great opening. So, yeah, as Fatir say, today I want to talk with uh, about the layouting in Android. But before that, I want to tell you what is Android Studios layouting. So first, uh, or we could call it XML layouting. So yeah, Android Studios layout is a term that generally refers to the graphical user's interface or GUI design and arrangement of elements for an Android app. It encompasses how various widgets, views, and components are organized and presented to the user on the screen. Let's dive into a more detailed explanation. So I've made a few points about layouting in Android Studio. So at first is as XML layout files. In Android development, layouts are typically defined using XML files. These XML files specify the arrangement and properties of UI elements such as buttons, text fields, image, etc., and in a structured format. So Android Studio provides a visual editor alongside the XML code, making it easier to design and adjust layouts. The second is widgets and view. As I mentioned it before, Android UI is built using a variety of widgets and view. These are the building blocks of your layout and include elements like text view for display, image view for displaying image, buttons, edit text for text input, and many more. So the third is layout types. Android Studio supports different types of layouts to help you organize UI elements efficiently. Common layouts include linear layout for arranging views in a single line horizontally or vertically, relative layout for specifying the position of views relative to each other, and the third is constraint layout, a flexible layout that allows you to create complex UIs in the constraints. The fourth is attributes. In XML layout files, each UI element can have attribute that control in its appearance and behavior. For the example, you can specify the text to be displayed in a text view, the image source for an image view, or the layout rules for positioning views. The fifth is resource files. Layout XML files are typically stored in the res slash layout directory of your Android project. They are considered resources, and you can have different layout files for different screen size and orientations to ensure uh, responsive design. The sixth is Design preview. Android Studio provides a visual design preview of your layout as you work on it. You can switch between the XML code and the visual design editor to see how change in code affect in the UI and vice versa. The seventh is data binding. Android Studio supports data binding, allowing it to bind UI elements directly to a data source. This simplifies the process of updating UI elements with data change. The eighth is previewing on different devices. Android Studio enables you to preview how your layout will appear on various Android devices and screen size. You can simulate different resolutions and orientation to ensure your app looks good on a wide range of devices. The ninth is accessibility. Consideration for accessibility is essential in layout design. Android Studio provides tools to help ensure your app is accessible to users with disability. Uh, for uh, disabilities, you can set content description for UI elements and the test accessibility in the layout editor. So, in our summary, Android Studio's layout encompasses the design, structure, and organization of the user interface in your Android app. It involves using XML files, arranging widgets and views, specifying attributes, and ensuring the responsiveness and accessibility. And well-designed layout is crucial for providing a user-friendly and visually appealing experience for Android app users. Layout in the context of Android application developer refers to the layout of UI elements in XML. This involves placing, customizing, and visually positioning user interface elements. Layout is an important aspect of Android app design because it affects the way elements are displayed, and arranged on the device screen. So that's a short explanation about Android layouting, or we specifically said it's XML design. So it provides us to designing the screen that are ready to be shown to the users. So the next I want to show you uh, these three types of Android layouting. As I mentioned in point three, uh, layout types. Android Studio supports different types of layouts to help us organize UI elements efficiently. Common layouts, yes, we talking about common layouts. There are three common layouts. The first is relative layout. The second is linear layout, and the third is constraint layout. So I'll be explaining these three with coding. So before that, I want to share my screen first. Wait. So I'm sorry, there is a problem with my Chrome, and wait. So waiting for the problem. I want to short explaining about these three layouts. So first is linear layout. Linear layout is the layout that uh, the fully structures in it. So we need to provide the first or the very up of the maybe the components, and then the second is a relative layout, so it's more relative than the linear layout before. So yeah, the third is the most relative layout ever, called concern layout. It's the most relative, then relative layout, kind of strange, but that's the characteristic of the Kotlin or the Android Studio. So before I present my share screen, I would like to restarting my Chrome first because there's some trouble. So maybe Muhammad Fatir as the host can fill uh, the empty uh, the empty without me. Okay.
Okay. As we know, Zayden have trouble with his Chrome, so uh, I will talk for the yeah sometimes because there is a problem with Zayden, and then so maybe I will talk about my Android. Uh, I will talk about a linear layout, relative layout. So linear layout is it's very simple. Like if you have items, two okay, example you have two item, you have two images. So with linear layout, you can uh, there is only two options. So I think linear layout is not the best layout, but you can use. Okay, it's depends on what you want to make. What you want to make. So if you have two images, we and you the images in linear layout, so the only thing you can do is vertical or horizontal. So if you have two images, maybe this is the first images and this is the second images. So uh, it's with attribute orientation. The value is vertical, but if you fill the value with horizontal, it will be like this. This is the first images, and this is the scan images. So it's linear layout. So uh, so the second is relative layout. So I think can we move to concern layout first because I often use. I think I never use relative layout. I maybe I use once, but I forget. So I will talk about concern layout. The most layout we I as Android developer always use. So concern layout is the best layout because you can move your item to the bottom, the right, bottom, top, right, or your or left. So example, you have text with image, and you want to make the text below the image. So you can do you can type maybe you give the idea for ID first for the items for the text, and then you give attribute. Maybe you can type layout constraint layout. Maybe you want the text below the image, top to the bottom of the ID of the image. So I think okay, Zayden will give the example. So I think that's enough for uh, my speech. And let's back to the speaker, the best speaker ever. Zayden, time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fatir, for fill my blank. So yeah, because I had a problem with my Chrome, so I have to restart it. But now it's all okay. So all Fatir says before is are true, but I want to explaining more about these three layouts. So the first is linear layout, is a layout type that arrange uh, that arrange elements in single row, either horizontally or vertically. In a linear layout, elements are ordered and will be positioned parallel to each other in the specified direction, horizontally or vertically, using Android layout weight in a linear layout allows for a more even distribution of space between elements. The second is relative layout, is a layout type that allows you to place element relative to other elements or relative to the parent container. In a relative layout, you can define positional uh, relationships such as above, below, line width, and etc. between elements. This is useful for setting up more complex layouts. Third is constraint layout. It's a layout type that allows you to create very flexible and complex layouts using constraints control between elements. It uses the concept of constraints, which define the relationship of positions and distance between elements. Constraint layout is especially effective for resizable designs, adapting to different device size and screen orientations. All three of these layout types are important elements in layout design. Choosing the right layout type depends on the complexity of your design and your goals for arranging UI elements. Learning and mastering the use of these three layout types will help you to create attractive, efficient, and responsive user interface in your Android application. So let's get directly go to uh, our code. So first, I want to share screen. So yeah, the first, of course, open your Android Studio first, and we could directly move to the new project here, and then use this empty views activity because we wanted to make just views first. So this is will be the simple activity. So yeah, go to the next. Then maybe we go to a thing for the name. I use Kotlin language and API 24. Yeah, it's for the app, but we just need the layouting things. So yeah, let's see. Okay, this is normal day for Android developer waiting the Gradle. It can last for maybe a minutes. Yeah, just waiting. So first, okay, it's all done. So first, go to this res folder, and then you will be able to uh, see this five folders or package. So the first is drawable for us to put the images, then a layout, the one we use, and then if you see there is a activity main of the XML. It's the basic or only the basic layout. So it use a constraint layout. Okay, I want to tell about this first. So in my screen now, there is only one text hello world because only one text view here with uh with the layout with web content, layout head word content, and then the text is hello world, and then the parent thing. So it makes the text is go to the right center in here. So yeah, maybe we can continue to make the XML file. So click layout, double click layout, and then new, and then layout resource file. We can maybe talking about linear layout first, and then before you click OK here, I need you to change this root element to linear linear layout, this one. Yeah, but actually it's okay if you just using the default Android X of constraint layout. You could change it uh, every time here, but is it more easy if we just write the root element before we create the files? So the next I want to make a little uh, sign form, I think, with this linear layout. So the first this is actually good, and then I want to add the orientation first because I want to the orientation is vertical, so it's not horizontal but it's vertical. So from up to down, from high to low. Then we go to the this orient right uh, wait, okay, maybe just oh, padding. Yeah, we're gonna add the padding to the xndp first, then I'm gonna add the text view with web content and height as web content. So I'm gonna use text for this, just name. So the first is text text size for 18 sp. So if you see the red things here, it means we haven't closed the tag. So we only need press slash, and then it's already closed. So if you're wondering why this is kind of yellow, maybe you could check this, and then there is some suggestion from Android Studio. There is extract string resource, or you could only press option and enter. Yeah, this is for the resource name. You don't need to change it, or you don't need to use it for the extract resource, but uh for for me I usually use this, and then boom, this automatically made to the string with txt name. So so in the tag is not at string or slash txt name, but if we see on the string xml, uh this will be called this, and then or the output is name and double dots. So we make the edit text with this is match parent and the head is work content, and then uh, for the we also need the hint for the users. Yeah, just a normal user's experience. We put the text is input your name. So yeah, don't forget to close the tag, and then we can add more text view and edit text for one more, but let's just copy for the time, and then we change this into age maybe. I want to make the extra resource first. Or maybe I haven't changed this to input your age. Oh yeah, I've made this two text view, edit text view and edit text with linear layout. So we using linear layout without entering another constraint end to end or top to top or top to bottom, or we using ID for that. Uh, we just directly text like this or type like this. Or maybe want to add the button. Yeah, that's a simple form page and using linear layout. So before we move to the second or the relative layout, I want to tell you about this short explanation. So in this example, we are using a vertically oriented linear layout, and which means the child elements will be displayed in the vertical order. It's a simple layout that arrange the following elements: a text view that display a name, text, and edit text that allows the user to enter a name, a text view that display the text age, and edit text that allows the user to enter age, and a button that is used to send data. These elements are arranged vertically in a linear layout and have attributes that define their appearance, such as width, height, text, and so on. You can also get attributes such as padding, margins, and other appearance according to your design needs. So we are going to move to the second layout. So we just made the the second is relative layout. Relative layout. Yeah, we use uh, the same kind of not the same kind, but it's looks like a linear layout before. We only use this root element, and then after we made it, this is directly changed to relative layout. And then maybe I want to tell you about the positioning and relative layout. So it's no need to change anymore. I can directly go to the text view, uh, raw content. But since this is a relative layout, sometimes we need an ID. Yes, I want to get the ID of text view one. So next I want to make a text. There is top left. So the next I want to make some line parent top with true, and then line parent start true. So yeah, and then the next is I want to make some margin, just 16 dp, and then don't forget to close the tag. So maybe I want to uh not copy. Okay, I want to make another text view with my content, and then the id, don't forget the id is I want to make text view 2. Yeah, text view 2, and then I want to make text top right, and then uh line parent top is true, and then line parent end is true. So as you can see, okay, wait, yeah, 16 dp. So as you can see, in our design, this the top left is right in the top left, and top right in the top right, because of I use this too. So the meaning of layout or align parent top, it's mean that uh, this text want to align with parent top or this, and then I use true to make it true, to make it realizing, and then I use align parent start or the left one to make it true too, to make it this uh, go to the left, and I use margin because I won't have a space in here. So yeah, and then maybe I want to add some text view, and then text view 3, then align parent. Well, I want to make this in the bottom, so I use line parent bottom true, and then line parent left first. Okay, it's true, and don't forget the text is bottom. Yeah, as you can see, and then margin. Okay, that's the example. Maybe the fourth text view, I just copy it or, and then bottom right, line right, line parent like with true. So yes, all of these are true, And then I want to make uh, the middle one. So let's make another text view for content of content, and then with ID text view 5. And then I want to make, since I want to make it to the center, maybe just text first, middle or center, it's same. And then the last is using uh, uh center here true. Yes, this only using center in parent. It's already created the text view in the right in the middle of this phone screen. So before we go to the last layout type, I want to explain about the uh, example of this relative layout. So we are using relative layout to place multiple text view elements on the layout. Some of the relative layout characteristics used are align parent top, align parent end, align parent bottom, align parent left. Also, there is a center in parent, and then use of the Android layout margin here uh, to provide spacing between child elements and the edges of the layout. By using a relative layout, you have greater flexibility in placing UI elements in a way that suits in your design. You can organize these elements relative to each other or to the parent container easily. So let we head it to the constraint. So actually in this activity main.xml, we already had a constraint layout, but it's for activity main. It's okay. It's okay if you use activity main, but I want to make the new one. Train. So this constraint layout, it's actually there. So uh we don't need to replace or something like layout because it's already here, so why we replace it. So yeah, just click OK, and then yeah, as you can see, this is the example of constraint layout. Maybe at the first this part we don't have to change it, and then go down the wait. Oh, yeah. So we want to make the text view first, text view, and then with wrap content and wrap content, same as like before. I need ID PV1 or text view 1. Then we go to text, same as like top, left, and then we use constraint bottom to bottom and etc. As you can see, it's much there's much type in here. like to bottom off, baseline to baseline off, baseline to bottom off. But the one we use here is top top to top off. Yeah, we use to top to top off parent, and then start to start off parent 2, and then uh margin start 16 dp, and then margin top 16 dp. Or maybe you could use normal margin, but it's okay. So here we made the second XU with the ID TV2, and then I would like to input the text is maybe top right, and then next is top to top to top of parent, or next is n to n of parent, and then margin 16 dp. So actually it looks like this relative layout, but I want to make you feel what's the difference. Maybe now I think so. I made the third text field with the ID TV3, and then I want to make the text for middle, then top to bottom, top to bottom of uh, text. We use ID top to bottom of TV1. So yeah, as you can see here, in the middle one, I use top to bottom of ID textio one. Since the ID textio one is the top left, and then the top to bottom, I mean this top goes to the bottom of top left. So if we not use this, it will be in the top of top left. But if we use this, it will be the bottom of top left. Maybe for the start of, I would like to use parent, and then end to end of parenting. Boom, already in the middle. So don't forget close the tag, and then I want to make the fourth and the fifth with text view or whatever content, and then well here I don't need any ID because yeah, there's no need. So I want to make text is bottom left, uh, then on bottom left, and then uh, start to start of parent, then bottom of parent, and don't forget the margin indity. Yeah, and the rest is the same. Bottom right. So for the this constraint start or constraint bottom, or actually for the bottom it's okay, but we use we replace and start with end to end of parent. So yeah, this is one of the constraint layout things. The difference between relative layout and constraint layout is in here, the constraint top to top of, because if we use this constraint that is unavailable, so we use line parent left or line parent bottom instead of constraint. So this the different one of the different of constraint layout and relative layout. So before I end it, I want to make some the summary for the constraint layout. So in the previous example, we are using a constraint layout to place multiple text view elements on the layout. Some of the constraint layout traits used here are constraint top to top off, constraint start to start off, end to end off, bottom to bottom off, and other. And then we use ID to make it more simplified. And then uh, those are allows elements to be positioned above, below, on the right of or left, or maybe above, below, right or left, uh, some component of the layout. So with constraint layout, you can create very flexible and complex layouts by combining these elements. You can also use other constraint features such as bias to control how far elements are inclined in a certain direction in the case of a larger of smaller view. So those are my explanation about layouting. So before I close my before I close this session, I would like to let Muhammad Fatir as the host to close this session. So maybe that's all for me. Hope my explanation about layouting could give you some information about it, and then hopefully you guys get more knowledge by this weekend tech talk with me and Muhammad Fatir. Maybe yes, that's all for me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh,
And
and go to Fatir.
okay, waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So thank you, Zayden, for the knowledge about layouting. So what are you going to use? Layouting, relative layout, constraint layout, or linear layout. So it depends on your project, on what you want to make. So I prefer to use constraint layout because it's like what Zayden said, it's flexible to use. So yeah, I would like to use constraint layout, but I think we need all the layout because sometimes the parent layout is constant layout and the child it will be linear layout. So yeah, as what I say, it depends on your project. So I think that's enough, and I hope uh, you can get more. You can get knowledge from Zaydan. You can it can become benefit for you. So I think that's all. Thank you for your attention, for your yeah. So I think that's all from me. That's all from Muhammad Fatir and Zaidan. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.